This is the most concise and useful guide to trading from levels. Now I will clearly show how the simplest basic information can lead a beginner to losses and a professional to daily profits. The devil lies in the details. What will you get? You will learn how to correctly find key levels using auto indicator, you will be able to distinguish a level breakout from a reversal, and you will understand when it is worth entering a trade and when it is definitely not. So before trading levels, let's learn how to find them. I opened a completely empty chart. I don't have any drawings here. Everything will be the same as when you first enter the TradingView platform and decide to trade an asset. You can't even imagine how crucial it is to correctly determine the key levels, but it's good that today one of the automatic indicators will help us with this. So that's what it's called. So we just write its name in the indicator panel. This is the support and resistance indicator from the ChartPrime author. We just add it and, most importantly, configure it now to get rid of all this junk. My default period is 13 and I recommend you set it to the same. In the styles, I disable everything except the boxes, because we don't need any of the rest. So we get automatic levels even with volume indicators. Please note that I start finding levels on the higher time frame, specifically 4 hours. Even if I will trade for 1 minute, for 5, for 15 minutes, I still start by determining key levels on the higher time frame, which is very important. So this indicator has highlighted the most important areas for us, which you will definitely not miss. So therefore the next step is to take a simple rectangle, then switch to a line chart and now correctly determine the level. For example, I see a cluster of green indicator boxes at the very bottom and I understand that this is the support level. But how do I draw it correctly? Because of the fact that boxing is not just a horizontal line. I switch to a line chart to mark the minimum here and the maximum here. That is, I mark this area of minimum and maximum and it contact on my chart. So then I simply expand this area to the right and to the left. And make sure that there is no contact with the price that would go beyond the lower or upper boundary of my box. What do I mean? If the chart had dropped a little lower here, the border of my box would also have been expanded. This helped me understand where the highest touch occurred, if we are talking about the support level, and where the lowest touch occurred. Remember, this is really important. We do the same with the resistance level. I notice the volume here, which means that this is the minimum volume for this level. And this is the maximum value for this level, which means we have a whole wide area. Don't be afraid, because this is absolutely normal. You will never have a situation where all your levels are perfect and fit into a single horizontal line, as many people do. Now, after we have found these levels, so we can switch back to the candlestick chart type and hide our indicator so that nothing else distracts us. Now, after we have learned how to draw levels correctly, I would like to use one currency pair as an example to show you the difference between a reversal from a level or fake breakout and a real breakout. So you can see the situation right now. The price has approached the support level that we drew using our indicator, and now our task is to understand where the price will break through this level or not. To do this, we need a standard volume indicator from TradingView. We also write its name and add it. In this case, we don't need to configure anything, and I'm sure you can see that the volumes at this level are not changing at all right now. So that is, I'm not taking this level or that level into account right now, because at that time no horizontal level had yet been formed. We are now focusing only on the current situation, and there are several things that distinguish a breakout from a reversal. So this is a characteristic behavior of candlesticks. So when we have a breakout of the level, we get a very long full-bodied candlesticks without any shadows above or below. But we also need to pay attention to the shadows, because look right here. We have a Japanese candlestick which we formed, which has a fairly large shadow relative to its body. But the most important difference is, of course, the volumes, because now they are not changing at all. And even now we have a fake breakout, we have a huge shadow here at this candlestick. So all of which indicates to us that this level will most likely not be broken. Moreover, we have a trend line here, which we will most likely break through now, and this will only mean the beginning of the new upward movement. Remember this moment, because only two things distinguish a breakout from a reversal. Now let's see how the chart will behave further. Here we are approaching the support level again, but this time we are seeing what I told you about. Look at this candlestick. How big it is, what a shadow it left against this trend movement. All this indicates that there is a strong seller presence here. Note the volume and how much it has grown over the last 5 or 6 candlesticks while we were at this level. So let's see what happens next. We're seeing a full breakout. The shadows are also aligned with the trend, which is very important because when the price moves down and leaves shadows at the top, that's normal. When the price moves down but leaves shadows against the trend, I mean at the bottom, this signals to us that a buy is appearing in the stock market and green candlesticks may start to form after that. How is it in this situation? Take another look at these two candlesticks. This candlestick has a downward shadow, while this candlestick and this one have upward shadows. And take another look at the volumes, how much they have increased here and how nothing has changed here. These are the two most important factors you need to know. And now I will answer the question of why we initially look for levels on the higher time frame. My friends, the thing is that in order to really distinguish a level breakout from a correction, we must understand that this level is visible not only to us, but also to all other stock market participants. If you switch, for example, to 10 minutes or 15 minutes and try to draw some level of resistance or support here, you simply won't see the change in volume. Perhaps it will be here, but it will not be as strong and obvious to you because these levels are seen by far fewer stock market participants than those we draw. For example, on a 4-hour time frame or even on an hourly time frame, it will all work. But in fact, the breakout of this level could have been noticed quite a long time ago, because the movement itself was initially preparing for a breakout. Please note that in addition to the support level, we also have factors such as a constant gradual decline in the high of our chart. A kind of flat bottom triangle was formed, which the price broke through after some period of time. This is one of the technical analysis patterns. It could have been easily traded, or at least we could have waited for some kind of retest and open positions for a decline from there. Well, now we need to learn how to open trades from levels using my simple strategies. So now I want to show you a couple of setups that have earned me more than 5,000 in real time. But before I show you these setups, I would like to tell you something really important. Guys, in addition to training and tutorials, I have my free Telegram channel where I share the results of my trading bots and my own result. And you can join it on these results because my broker offers copy trading for everyone absolutely free of charge. For example, over the past week, one of my scalpers brought me 85% net profit to my balance. Yes, these are crazy numbers, but keep in mind that the risks here are also high. If you're interested in more conservative trading, I have a solution for that too. So if you want to know all the information, write to me using the link from the description. Now let's get back to the chart. Here are two current zones on a 4-hour time frame. My task is to wait until the chart touches any of these levels again. Right now we are reaching the resistance level. I switch back to the 4-hour time frame and look at the volumes. Well, we didn't even have time to wait. In this case, there was no increase in volume except for this candlestick, but you can see where this candlestick is headed. So I think there will definitely be no breakout here in the near future. But now we have this interesting moment. Of course, I didn't enter immediately from the level because it was important for me to get a reaction. I'm not not a fan of taking risks and entering trades exclusively from the level, but now I can draw a trend line, for example, after which I could enter the trade. Of course, the trend line can be drawn visually here, and we would have opened a little earlier, but because I'm showing you my real trade, let me show you what it actually looked like. This is exactly where I enter a short position, because this is a trade based on the reaction of the resistance level. And now I only need one more indicator to help me understand where to place my stop loss and where to place my take profit. This is the imbalance indicator. Also write down its name from the frozen author, add it, and you don't need to configure it any further. I immediately see the imbalance level appearing at the top, so I will place my stop loss behind it, and I will set my take profit so that my trade is at least 1 to 1.5. Let's say I see a local level here, which is at the bottom. Hypothetically, we can easily update it, so somewhere here I will place my take profit. Let's see how this trade works out, especially considering that we have updated the last minimum, and this is a break in the structure if you are more adhering to a smart money strategy rather than technical analysis. Such a simple trade. We even had a retest of our entry point here. That is, in general, for any level, even for example from this broken level, you could enter. Because the most important thing is to understand the trend on the higher time frame. And on the higher time frame, we just realized that no breakout is planned, which means that we only have to wait for a move to the lower boundary. Now on your screen, you can see a screenshot of the profit from this trade. It was also published in my Telegram channel, so you could safely enter and earn with me based on my signal. And now our task is to reach the lower limit, so I'm switching back to the hourly time frame and want to show you another trade that I made. Here we can draw the trend lines that interest us. Let's say I can also switch to a linear chart and draw a very accurate trend line, which we will use to make our decision. If the chart also breaks through and tests this trend line, it will be a good signal for trend reversal from downward to upward, especially considering that we are in the global support zone. So let's take a look. We are currently seeing a breakout and retest of this trend line. Despite a slight increase in volume, I don't see any serious candlesticks here that would indicate a breakout of this level. If we switch to the hourly time frame, nothing terrible has happened with the volume here, so we can continue trading here. I will open an upside trade, and my imbalance zone indicator will help me again, because I understand that the upper imbalance zone will sooner or later be reached and covered, as it is magnet for our price. Therefore, I will set my take profit at its border, and I can remove the stop loss beyond the global level or even a little further, so that the risk reward ratio will be 1.5. So let's see how this trade close. At the moment, we certainly had a return to the entry point with an increase in volume. It was an unpredictable new situation, but in the end, this trade allowed me to earn more than 3,000 in profit. And any of you could have repeated this as well. My friends, I hope you enjoyed the detailed guide to trading from levels along with my analysis of my real trades. So subscribe if you don't want to miss useful information from a practitioner who trades 5 days a week. See you in the next video, everyone. Bye for now.